Morning day traders, and this is your Aussie South African top 40 day trade review for today. So yesterday day before we had the engulfing, which was indicating that we could potentially have moved down, and we didn't. We basically formed an inside bar. So this is still, depends how you look at it, but it's still pretty much indecision. I think the thing we need to pay attention to is this 200 daily EMA, because you can see 3 days in a row now that we are bouncing off that. Okay, there is a little level here where price closed to the top of these two fractals and nothing else. So the data's got nothing really much in it at the moment, just sort of range bound confusion, etc. So let's just move through the time frames, just pick something up. Okay, so if we look at the alligator at the moment, we are definitely in an upward trend. We came back, we closed the gap, and the 3 hour 200 EMA was pretty much here as well, which we bounced off. So we've broken through, we tried to test, it failed, we broke through again, we tested, which was, I won't say successful just yet, because I'd want to see a close above this bar on the 3 hour before we claim it successful. At this stage, we've pretty much closed on it. Well, actually we didn't, we rejected it because this is a nonsense bar. So moving to the hour, you'll see proper rejection off these levels again. Okay, moved down, bounced off the bottom level and back up again. So these are our lines in the sand at the moment, and we need to get through to the upside or the downside before we can sort of get the next move going. The one thing that I do see here is we have a bit of a flat top triangle here, or another way of looking at this would be a triangle, as we spoke about yesterday. So the big question here is this a break above the triangle? This was an attempt, it didn't work out. We've come back in. Is this the break? Okay, so for me today, this is all about, I'm just going to delete these levels here. We know there's a big level to the upside. So there's our upside fractal, and there's our downside fractal. Okay, there it is there it is there. If I get down to 12 minutes now, that's going to give me a different fractal. Let's just adjust it. So that's pretty much the range of yesterday. The other thing to point out here is, for all intents and purposes, this is a cup and handle, inverse cup and handle inside a triangle. All it really represents is a double bottom, pullback, higher low, and now we want to break above here. We don't quite have a break. This bar is a bit of a break above it, but I'm not entirely convinced. You can see the buyer stepping in off here. Okay, so with that in mind, my view on this is fairly simple. That's our last hour of trade. This is a closing range breakout trade for me today on this. I'm not really interested in the short though. This trend is starting to get established, and for me it's more than likely some kind of a pullback. That has happened. So we had the strong move, pullback, and now we're flirting with some pretty strong levels on the day. So I'm anticipating a break to the upside and looking for my target area to be around there, which will be 50,082. But we'd obviously have to get through 50,000, and 50,000 is probably on the 161. Yep, pretty close. Okay, so that's kind of what we're expecting. So in other words, more of the same, lots of volatility, but with a bias to the upside. Okay, quite simply on the half hour, we've broken through the alligator, pulled back, tested, broken through, pulled back, tested, broken through. Okay, so one break, two breaks, this is the third break, third time lucky or third time failure. the bottom line is level to the upside is 49931, and level to the downside at this stage would be 49784, but I don't trust that. I'd want to see this level here break 49670. Okay, so I just want to close off on the ichimoku quickly. Let's just get the hour. So the hour, we sort of had a bearish cross here at the start of the day. Lots of rejection down, lots of rejection at the bottom, and we had a bullish crossover. Now this trend is still up. Okay, the only concern I have is Chico span is not through price. We need Chico span through price for me to be fully, not fully bullish, but bullish for the day. And the level of failure right now is obviously below this level here, which is 49,370. That would be below the cloud. Okay, this is the start of the new day. So this is the area of failure. So if we do get down below this, I'd expect a pullback to come and test, or at least get back on the cloud. If that got rejected, that would be the short entry. For now, you can see we are flirting with the cloud. So we've got a bullish twist here, or bullish crossover. We've got a bullish twist here, and Chico span is through price. Chico span just needs to get through the cloud together with price here, and then this is the confirmation we're looking for. Okay, again, first attempt to get through the cloud, second attempt to get through the cloud. So we could still get a bit of a pullback for a third attempt, but this is bullish at the moment. Daily, as I said yesterday, we are in the cloud. So, and flat Kijus and flat Teekins not even coming close to each other. So daily is where the wariness comes in, where you would expect more sideways motion today. Okay, so yeah, I think that's kind of the long-term view is wait till we get some structure or some direction, and your short-term view, basically from the 4-hour down, is a potential bullish environment. Okay, now last thing here is fractal breaks to the downside at the moment, which there's our main fractal, which is the low of yesterday, would indicate potential shorts. Okay, 4-hour, you can see there's a fractal break, so potential short to test this level. But this is back in the cloud, so I wouldn't be tracing long-term trades. I would basically be looking for a level to get out. Okay, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because of what the daily looks like. Okay, very rare for it to just run away from Kijun and Dickinson at the moment. You want to see them come together like this. Okay, so for today, you've got your levels, and I think that's pretty much what you need to be doing is, so you're looking at those breaks there. Okay, and that is pretty large. I mean, that in itself is a trade, 260 points. But yeah, that's kind of my view at the moment. Still lots of sideways confusion, I would anticipate. But do look out for these fractal levels, because fractal levels on the 12-minute is pretty much the breaks that you're looking for. Okay, so where we are at the moment, yesterday was some good earnings that came out, but no real traction. I mean, I know the US markets were up, sort of, I think NASDAQ was up 1%, 1.2%. Rand dollar at the moment, 40.92, so that bodes well for a long at the moment. And 10 cents at the moment is up 0.5%. S&P was up 1%, Dow was up 0.9%. So, yeah, I think there's more earnings out today. One or two big ones coming out today. The banks have come out with better than expected results. So that's sort of fueling fire that the earnings season could be a positive one, and that the trade war hasn't really impacted it. So we'll have to wait for a couple more days before that happens. But anyway, so these are the fractal levels we need to watch. Breaks to the upside is 49,930. Break to the downside is 49,671. Any break to the downside, pick up the diagonal trend lines because I'd expect buyers in off there. And then breaks to the upside, I would expect us to be 50,000 first and then possibly 5,100. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I hope it helps. Just trade the lower time frames and keep those stops tight. Cheers for now.